Stop button. Speech off.
All fucking righty. I did not think that I would have to make a recording about this, but after seeing Leeja Miller's video, and after seeing a video pop up from Rashad Crenshaw, I was like, well, fuck. We're gonna have to make a video about this. And like Leeja Miller says, gay marriage is on the chopping block. Now, this is basically because of one person, Kim Davis, a clerk from Kentucky. Her full name is Kimberly Jean Davis. She was married 3 times, and she committed adultery because when she was married to, I believe it was her first husband, she ended up conceiving children with her second/third husband. While she was still married to her first husband. Adultery, bruh, and this is going to be very important with what I'm going to bring up. So, Kim Davis is a Christian, and when Obergefell v. Hodges happened in 2015 and gay marriage was legalized, she was not happy with it. And she did not want to sign off on the marriage licenses, because when you get married, when you have like a courthouse type marriage, I think the clerk is the one that signs off on your marriage license. And instead of, I don't know, resigning or telling one particular couple that she kind of gave a hard time to go to a different county, she basically decided resigning was, quote, not going to solve anything. I don't know what exactly she wanted to solve, but okay. And yeah, she just, there was a lot of legal shit between her and the one couple that sued her. I believe they are David Ermel and David Moore. I'm gonna link Leeja Miller's video so that way y'all can see, like, y'all can like watch it and get like a better idea. I'm just kind of giving you like a summary. How dare you?
Speech on. Done. Pause button.
Oh,
Speech off.
it was just a notification. I'm just giving you like a summary of like a bite-sized, unprofessional sounding summary, because I feel like I need to get this out of the way. Because it has kind of been weighing on me of like, we progress and then we have people that are wanting to digress because they think it's cute or whatever. Anyways, there was a lot of legal shit involved. Now, I believe in the time of 2015, there were 4 liberal justices on the Supreme. Wait, was it 4 or was it 3? Was it 3 or 4? I don't know. Leeja Miller says it a lot clearly, and she says which conservative justices supported, or like which justices in general supported gay marriage and which ones didn't. And the ones that 2 or 3 of the ones that didn't are still on the Supreme Court. I believe it's Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, and there might have been another one, but again, I'm going to be linking Leeja Miller's video so that way y'all can see what she says, and because she's definitely going to do a better job than I do at this. But Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito were the ones that wrote their dissents, basically disagreeing with gay marriage being legalized. And then there's, legal shit that lasts about 10-ish, it's going on 10 years, with Kim Davis and this couple that sued her. And some of these tradcons are basically crying persecution because she got into some legal shit When it's like, dude, you could either resign or, I don't know, like Rashad Crenshaw said, have someone else do it. Because, like, that's a government job. Those laws were passed. You either do your job or pass the torch on to someone else or quit or, I don't know, do something that doesn't involve trying to fuck up other people's lives. But these people, you know, people like Kim Davis, people like Nicholas Bowling, people like Taylor Alicio, people like Angela Marie Scafidi, people like them just want you to live like them. And I thought that I was exaggerating when I mentioned some of what my dad, you know, some of my dad's takes on gays, lesbians. He won't even, like, he's more, oh, you have to do what the Bible says. And my cousin is in a same-sex marriage, and I remember hearing him one time say, this is not something God would approve of, and he's like, and cousin's name wouldn't want to hear this, and all this shit that, you know, like hyper-religious people say, right? And then there was another conversation because my aunt's ex-husband, you know, my mom's sister's ex-husband, and I'm gonna say my aunt, and you're probably gonna hear, I'm gonna have to go back and forth and say, oh, it's my mom's cousin or
Speech on.
my mom's
Done. Pause.
late
Button.
sister.
Speech off.
So I'm gonna have to go back and forth. My mom's sister's ex-husband, like, he isn't exactly the greatest, and my mom was having a conversation about how he was bringing his new girlfriend around his grandchildren, being my mom's sister's youngest kids, 2 children, and my dad's like, oh, well, he's like, do you think, if you think that's bad, what about older cousins' names and what he's doing? And it's like, you know, he doesn't drop it. Any chance that he gets, and it's not often, it's just like every other chance that, like, something gets brought up and he can, like, tie that into the conversation, it gets brought up. And it's like, okay, but he's your nephew by marriage? He might not be your blood nephew, he might be your nephew by, you know, through marriage because he married my mom, and I guess, you know, that makes him the uncle of my mom's sister's kids. So it's like, you just need to not say any of these things in front of them. And it's not a trying to suppress your religious beliefs or anything, but it's like, people like that cannot drop the gay marriage thing. They cannot drop, and it's like, look, they're not hurting you. They're not forcing your ways onto people. Now, yes, we got the idiot content creators like James Charles, Shane Dawson. You got JoJo Siwa that God knows what she's fucking doing. I don't know if that whole, like, coming out as a lesbian was a grift or what. But look, can you minus these people out of the equation? Can you minus anyone who's done anything dumb or anything illegal? Minus them, and look at, like, the ones who weren't doing shit, and I don't know, like, leave them alone? I think that's what I want to try and say here, is, like, leave the ones who weren't doing shit alone. Wait, is James Charles gay? I heard he is, but I'm not sure. But yo, if he is, dude, after some of the shit I've heard you've done, and like I'm not like your biggest fan or anything, you kind of shit on the community, bruh. But I mean, this is not. I feel like if everyone was just cool and living their lives, hardcore religious people would still find something to bitch about. And I know that one of the dissenting justices in the whole gay marriage thing in 2015 was like, oh, we should have left it up to the states. Okay, so let's say you like living in Texas and you meet someone who you like. You both are a same-sex couple. However, you don't want to leave Texas because, I don't know, you like the Texas barbecue and the fried pickles, and you like burning up in the summers, and you like playing the banjo out on the porch or something.
Speech on. Done. Done. Pause. Done. Dim.
But
Button.
Texas does not...
Speech off.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Let me...
Speech. Pause. Button.
Let me pause.
Done. But done. Pause. Done. Button. Speech off.
Okay, I'm back. So let's say you live in Texas, and you have, like, X, Y, and Z reasons not to leave. And you're a same-sex... Like, you are in a same-sex relationship, and you guys want to get married, but Texas will not allow it. But you don't want to leave the state. Then you're gonna have to move to another state, or maybe do some like you're gonna have to do things like really secretively in Texas if you don't want to leave Texas. But let's say California lets you marry as a same-sex couple. But so then your option would be to move to California. Like, I don't know, this whole states' rights thing, like, I understand it, but at the same time it's like, I don't know. It's because this whole thing to me just seems like a mess. Now look, that whole thing that happened, I don't know how long this was after gay marriage was legalized, but let's say, you know, if you want a cake for your wedding, you're a same-sex couple, and you want a cake for your wedding, and you go to a business, and they're like, okay, I'm a Christian, I don't believe in this, what the hell?
Speech on. Oh, X. Group. Now. Protect Kamala Harris.
Oh. Hold on.
Cheek grabber. Button. Pause. Waveform. Pause. Button. Speech off.
And okay, so let's say you go to like a bakery and you want a cake. You're a same-sex couple. You know, the owner says, "Oh, I'm not gonna make a cake for you because I'm Christian and I don't believe in this." In that case, I would say go to a different bakery. Keep looking until you find someone that will make the cake for you. I wouldn't have done like a whole lawsuit, because at the end of the day, that's on the business. They decide. Like, you know, bakery, I guess in a way, like, yeah, they're gonna decide who they're gonna, like, who they wanna serve, basically. And I feel like in that case, like, yeah, a lawsuit.
Speech duration 14 minutes. 18.
I don't think that should.
Done. Dim. Pause. Button. Speech off.
I mean, they tried their hand at it, but you pissed off a whole bunch of people in the process. But no, it's like, if a Christian business does not want to make, or like any business at all, doesn't want to make a cake for you guys as a same-sex couple, I would just leave them alone. I would look somewhere else. I would not make a big deal out of it. I understand why. I understand maybe you liked the business and maybe you wanted like a cake, maybe you could have lied and said you were friends, or maybe you could have done, I don't know what you could have done if you wanted a cake from that business, but you just came out and said, and I understand, like, you know, progressive vibes and all that, but I don't know, in this case, whoever y'all are, you should have gone to a different business. However, like I said, you tried your hand at suing. There's really no turning back now as far as what as far as like suing them or getting into whatever legal battle you got into. But I'm just gonna say this to creators like Amir Odom, Brad Palumbo, Ariel Scarcella. You guys just fed yourselves to the dogs. I know you guys left the left, as you like to say. Or Brad Palumbo was never really a leftist. Or like a Democrat. From what he said. He was never really like a leftist or a Democrat. But, the other two left the left. Now, I'm just gonna say this. Y'all fed yourselves to the dogs. I know Brad Palumbo, in this one video that he made like last year, disputed Michael Knowles on this. He made this stupid claim about adoption. I have to find the video. But Brad Palumbo disputed it, so he's not entirely a cuck. But, regardless, you three fed yourselves to the dogs. Because, look, you might have seen some, quote, insane TikToks, unquote. But, I don't know, dude. I don't know. At this point, it's like, we gotta wait and see what happens. Just an FYI, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito are still on the Supreme Court. The two justices that wrote their dissents on gay marriage are still on the Supreme Court. I don't know too much about Amy Coney Barrett. I don't know too much about John Roberts or Neil Gorsuch or Brett Kavanaugh. So, like, if this case does go to the Supreme Court, I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're not back till October. So, we're just going to have to see what happens. We do got Sonia Sotomayor, she's still on the Supreme Court. Elena Kagan is still on the Supreme Court. They are the two liberal justices that were on the Supreme Court that agreed to gay marriage. Ketanji Brown Jackson is new. She's not, like, super new. She was, like, appointed by Joe Biden back in, was it 2021 or 2022? I don't fucking know. I have to look back I have to see if I can find, like, the exact date when she was appointed. With the three, you're good. I don't think they're gonna try and, like, overturn gay marriage. The three liberal ones, Kagan, Sotomayor, and Jackson, no. The six, you're gonna have to be careful. Thomas and Alito are still in the Supreme Court. They're the ones that wrote their dissents. So yeah, I would stay vigilant on that. I'm gonna try, but I have like 3 classes. One of them ends on October 17th, and then I'm gonna be down to 2. I don't know how much work child development is gonna be. I'll try to find time to keep up with some stuff. I actually didn't really see this. I kind of taken a break from looking at news articles, like, on a day-to-day basis, and I just found this on, like, Leeja Miller's channel, and then a video from Rashad Crenshaw popped up, and I'm like, oh, okay. We're gonna have to look into this, and I waited days to look into it because I was like, I don't know if I'm strong enough for this to, like, hear what this is about, and then, oh shit, this is really bad. And I guess in a way, yeah, it kind of is. But I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen. But dude, to think that one conservative, or like a few, was it one or two conservative justices that agreed to the Obergefell decision in 2015, one of them saying times change. Whoever you are, I think it was a Kennedy guy who retired. You're a good dude. Honestly, like, I was raised Christian, and I'm gonna tell you this. I don't give a shit if you decide to get into a same-sex relationship. I don't give a fucking rat's ass. Hell, I mean, can't really bake cookies and cakes unassisted, but, if I ever get to that point where I could do it unassisted, then I'll make y'all a cake if you want. But, like, I don't give a shit. It's the same thing with these religious content creators and their Labubu's are demonic. This is demonic. I will never let my kids watch Disney. Now I will hand it to, okay,
Speech on.
what's happening?
5:57 p.m. Done. Dim. Done. Pause. Button. Speech off.
I will hand it to my dad that he was not that type of parent. And I will hand it to both my parents that they were not like that, where, oh, you can now watch Disney. Like, me and my brother watched Disney as kids. We watched Nickelodeon. Yes, we listened to Christian music. There was a particular bunny toy. I don't know if I still have it, because from 5th to 9th grade, a lot of stuff got cleaned out, like stuffed animals, and just, I was able to keep a few and a couple dolls as well. But there was this one bunny toy that if you squeezed its belly, it would sing the Jesus Loves Me song in this like little cartoon voice. And it had like the floppy ears that would like stand up straight, or I think they would kind of droop to the back, but and the tail was like this little round ball. So I'm gonna have to look through my little collection of like childhood toys, and I'm gonna have to see if I still have it. It had like these little velvety ears.
Speech on. Done. Dim. Done. Pause. Button. Dim. Button. Speech off.
What the hell?
Pause. Button. Speech off.
But no, back to what I was saying, like, religious content creators. It's not just the LGBTQ stuff. It's also Labubu's. They don't like Disney. A fucking harmless ass movie called Dear Santa. I haven't watched it. I was gonna get it on either YouTube Movies or see if like it was on
Speech on.
Netflix
Done.
and
Dim.
see
Done.
if my
Pause.
mom
Button.
would play it with audio description. It does not
Speech off.
everything has audio description. I think like a couple things do. But I'm gonna see what we can do about the Dear Santa movie. But I heard like the trailer. Now this isn't something I would say, oh, put your 2-year-old in front of the screen and watch it. No. Like when you're 13, like if your kid is like 13, or if you have like any nieces or nephews or whatever, I would say 13, 14, 15. I think that's when you can watch it. Or I mean, I think that like that's when they should probably watch it and there wouldn't be like any issues. Because at that age, you're at the level of like, okay, you already know cuss words. You already know all these other things. Watch the fucking Dear Santa movie. But, like I said, it's not just with LGBTQ. It's also with something as simple as Labubu's. Labubu dolls. I'm sorry, that's just fucking, it's dumb. Labubu dolls, and what was the other thing? I know it was Labubu dolls. with the Dear Santa movie, I have to see if there was like any other trendy. Oh, Taylor Swift. Religious content creators have a problem with her. The only thing I'm going to say is the Tortured Poets Society album. Maybe don't play that around like young kids. Especially that one song where the lyrics go, your wife waters flowers, I wanna kill her. Yeah, I don't know, maybe don't play that around little kids. But then again, I don't think they would understand. I don't know. All I'm gonna say is some of this is nuts. Young Sheldon might have been a bit comedic when it came to like Mary, the mom, being all hyper religious, but you know what? There is also some truth to that. Y'all need to watch Young Sheldon so you know what I'm talking about. Because the mom, Mary, is like all this and this and this is a sin. The Dungeons and Dragons, she thought that was sinful. Comic books that had these like images in them. But yeah, no, it might have been comedic, but there was some truth to it. To Young Sheldon. Because yes, there are people that think like every single goddamn thing is sinful. I'm not one of them. I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something that is really gonna ruffle some feathers.
Button. Pause. Button.
Purity rings and all this other stuff. I mean, you do you, but it's a joke. I mean, I get it. You kind of, do your own thing when it comes to religious stuff and, like, pledging to keep your virginity and whatnot. But shit happens. I'm not talking from my experience. I'm just saying, like, I've heard things. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. But to me, it's like, some of these things are ridiculous. And I'm honestly glad. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, I'm happy I wasn't able to be accommodated in that private school. I'm just saying, because, I mean, it's, why are you going to celebrate not being able to be, like, why are you going to celebrate not being accommodated somewhere? But what I'm saying is I'm glad I did not go to that school. Because I would have turned out like something that I would have not wanted to turn into. I saw this one guy on Twitter whose username is, or I think part of his username is Gay Republican. I have to see if I can find the account again. But I think his name is Paul. Yeah, I think his name is Paul. And then you got Ty Rivera, who I believe is also on YouTube. Canceled Conversations, who changed his name to Daniel Moon on YouTube. So I guess he put his like first and last name. You may have your own views, but you fed yourself to the dogs. All of y'all that I know of. You fed yourself to the dogs. Do I feel bad for you specifically? 5%. Okay, 5%.
Pause. Button. 7 notif. To my ODR 10. 7. 550. Duration. 30. Playback settings. Done. Dim. Pause. Button.
Because my empathy for some of you people has like run low. But
Pause. Button. 8.
um,
Done. Dim. Pause. Button.
I tried having at least a bit of empathy for some of these people, but you know what?
Fast forward. Pause. Button.
Blame the TikTok people, you see.
Fast forward. Pause. Button.
Keep doing that. Keep making your generalizations and see where it gets you. Because this was caused by Kim fucking Davis. Okay? You know what? Leeja Miller, I feel like she could start making, like this, she already made, Reagan ruined everything. That one t-shirt that she made, I didn't bought it, but kind of want to. She should make a Mitch McConnell ruined everything, or just McConnell ruined everything. Now she should make Kim Davis ruined everything. I'm just saying. Okay.
Fast forward. Pause. Button.